Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching IMM Media Radio and Television with your humble host, Fritz Misodi. My show is about politics, about events happening in Africa, in the world, and in Amazonia, southern Cameroon. Uh, Today, we're going to talk about uh, our brother Eric Tataw. Eric Tataw Tano. Eric Tataw has been arrested for PPP loan that has been tampered. So we see a case of fraud from the federal government, and he's now arrested. He's now with the state prison. So we're gonna talk about this, and so that people should understand certain things, okay? Because I've seen a lot of newspaper report from Cameroon trying to tie somebody's private life to the struggle, okay? People have their private life. People have their privacy. People get involved in their private dealings, okay? So before we come back, we'll have this interlude, okay? Then we'll come back and talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the show, the Political Lab, hosted by your comrade Fritz Misodi. As we just made mention, today we are going to be talking about the events leading to the arrest of Eric Tataw. And I want to make this clear first, because a lot of our people have heard this and they're saying, oh, this is about the struggle, this is about the Amazonian crisis. No, this has nothing to do with the Amazonian crisis, okay? And this is something about an individual, an individual with his own private matter, his own private life, what he did individually. Okay, that's America. A lot of people get into their private businesses, they get into their private dealings, and they go to jail in America. So that's it. It has nothing to do with the Amazonian struggle. I want us to have that clear, okay? This is just like any individual. Eric Tataw has his own private life. He has his own thing that he's doing. And people will now start talking trash. Okay? It doesn't work like that. Okay? We know that Eric Tataw was charged for the PPP loan fraud. Okay? Eric Tataw, they say he shall appear in court on the 8th of September. So he's still to appear in court to have all these charges, since all these charges have been levied against him. Okay, you have the PPP loan application fraud, you have the fraud, the fraudulent use of the PPP loan funds. Okay, you also have the PPP loan forgiveness certification fraud, and also there are a host of other things that he has been charged with, like false claim. You have making false statement to the Small Business Administration, also making false statement to the FDIC, in short bank, and these are all little charges that comes with the PPP loan fraud. Okay, You also have bank fraud, you have wire fraud, you have aggravated identity theft. Okay. You have the tax evasion. It's very important. Tax evasion. Tax evasion is very important crime in America. You have to know that. And making false statements to federal agents like the FBI and all these people is also something to look up to. Okay. And you have what we call the conspiracy to commit PPP fraud. That's also crime. Okay. I will go through all this so that you know what the American law states. Okay. This has nothing to do with the Amazonian struggle. The American law is very straightforward. You can go online and see the law that, excuse me, you can go online and see the law that governs the PPP loan. Okay, it's very straightforward, and that loan, a lot of people are in trouble today because if you have a small business, you're opportune to take the loan. Okay, and this issue has been very critical because now a lot of people are being investigated for taking this loan. And today we see Eric Tataw is one of the victims. Is one of those people who are now in that fraud scheme. So I want Ambazonian to understand that there are a lot of people that have been arrested. A lot of people. You see, so this is an ongoing investigation. Okay, it's not only one person or Eric Tato that some people are saying, oh, is that. No. This is about the American law, and once you broke it, they will charge you according to the American law. It has nothing to do with any individual, any particular person or particular, no. Okay, so now we know that Eric Tato is going to appear in court on the 8th. So he has been charged, okay, but not sentenced yet. So is his appearance in court that we're going to determine how many charges or how many years he's going to spend in the federal court, because this is a federal crime. Okay, federal crime, you are being imprisoned in federal prison. Okay, if it's a regular crime, you're gonna be jailed in the regular prison. Okay, so this is like you have political prisoners, you have all these federal crime, cause those people that work in the government and commit crimes, they are being jailed in the federal prison. Okay, so Eric Tato is one of those people who are gonna be put in the federal crime if he is convicted of and charged. Okay, and the case ends that he is guilty of these charges that he was levied upon. So it's very important for us to understand that these charges are always very easy because a lot of people went and took this money, okay, not knowing that it was just a trap to many people. It was a trap. So now a lot of people are getting into trouble. Okay, this money was what we call it was for the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Care Act. Okay, and it was a federal law enacted in March of 2020. And was designed to provide emergency financial assistance to the millions of Americans that were suffering of economic effect caused by the coronavirus pandemic. So the money was for that purpose, okay, to help workers who are having some issues, suffering from this economic effect during that pandemic time. Okay, so most people took advantage of this. Okay, normally small businesses were granted this loan. You know, a lot of people took advantage of it and paid their workers, did a lot of other things to boost the economy. Okay, that was the purpose of it. Okay, those who used the money judiciously had no problem. They don't have any problem because the money was meant to pay workers. It's PPP. You pay workers and you use it for your business purpose. Okay. A lot of people took this money and they never knew that the FBI or the IRS or the DOJ, the Department of Justice, is going to come and start doing investigation. Okay, that's how it is, and I'm very cautious not to tie this to what is happening, in Amazonia, and people will say, "Oh, this is this is about the struggle. Eric Tataw has been arrested." I saw a newspaper doing that. Okay, this has nothing to do with this new the struggle or the Amazonian. No, okay. So the thing that qualifies you as a business owner, if you own a business, they'll give you like $40,000. Okay, depending on your workers, how many employees you have, the size of your company. Okay, these were the you see. So to obtain that PPP loan, okay, a qualifying business, a qualifying small business was required to apply and provide information on its operation, okay, including the number of employees and the expenses. Okay, in addition, businesses generally had to provide supporting documentation like how many employees you have, their salaries, and how long this company has been, what activities this company is carried out. Okay, those were the requirement for each company, each business owner. Okay, this is what every company that received this fund did. It has nothing to do with particular individuals. No, this is about supporting small businesses. Okay, what are the charges for this PPP loan fraud? Okay, they call it PPP, paycheck. So this money is meant to pay workers. Okay, it's a paycheck protection program, PPP. Okay, so the charges that we're expecting is something that can go from 1 to 20 years imprisonment. Okay, depending on which those allegations that are levying on you, which one you are guilty of. Okay, currently the U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ, is called Department of Justice. You have the Federal Bureau of Investigation. You have the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, and the investigations, and the U.S. Small Business Administration Office for Inspector General, SPAIOG, are all actively conducting investigation under the PPP. These four departments are the ones conducting investigation against PPP fraud. Okay, so those people who collect money under their companies, they did what we call, they inflated the activities. Okay, like if you have like 3 employees, you went and wrote like 50 employees. They were not checking those credentials, they were just checking or something. Oh, okay, you have 50 employees, it means you have this certain amount of money. Okay, That is a fraud. So most people who are being investigated were those people who did not provide sufficient documentation, provide supporting documentation to show that they have this amount of workers and they have this size of their company. Okay, you can't have a big company or a small company and you say you have a big company. Okay, so this PPP loan was made for that purpose, to help these workers during the time, to assist. It was just like the emergency financial assistance to the millions of Americans that were suffering. Okay, they were suffering for the during the time of the economic effects that was caused by this COVID-19 pandemic. So it was not supposed to be used for something else. Okay, but according to reports from the Eric Tataw's case, we saw that he was using that money for something else. Okay, that is a crime. Okay, if on that day that he has the case, he is suspected or he's guilty of those crimes that were against the PPP law, he will be going to jail. He will be going to jail. Okay, but now he's arrested without bail. Okay, he has not yet been charged. So those are two different things. And I know people don't understand. They will just start saying things that are not even legally binding. Okay, we are following the law. Okay, then they say the PPP loan was supposed to be used for workers and not. So if you use it for something else, it was a crime. So there are many companies that are being charged today, not only about Eric Tataw. It has nothing to do with Eric Tataw alone. It's about PPP loan. Okay, if you use it for a different purpose, that purpose is wrong. The name tells you the purpose for the money. Okay, it's a paycheck protection program. Means that people that were not going to work, because during the COVID time, a lot of people either lose their jobs or companies were shut down. People were working from home. Okay, that is it. People were sick of COVID. You remember the social distance, all those things caused a lot of workers to lose their job. So this money was to pay these workers. Okay, now if you did not pay your workers, or the one of these agencies, the Department of Justice, or say the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, okay, you remember the FBI visited Eric Tataw. Okay, the FBI visited Eric Tataw has nothing to do with the Amazonian struggle, because people are trying to relate anything that happened to anybody now. Oh, it's the Amazonian thing. No, please. People have their privacy. People have their private life. Okay, it's the same thing even with people like Mangang and all the other people. There are a lot of Cameroonians that are getting into legal issues. So you think that people don't get into legal trouble in America? No, there are a lot of. I know a lot of Cameroonians that are in prison today because of their own mistake. You know, there are little things that take people to jail in America that in Cameroon the law will just say, oh, no, it's okay. No, simple DUI. I have a friend now in jail 1 year for drinking and driving. Okay, they don't play with that. In America, that's why they implement the law. They don't say no way. Okay, okay, and the ignorance of the American law is it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. If you broke the law, you go to jail. It's as simple as that. It has nothing to do with an individual. Okay, the law is there for you to go through. Okay. Now, when can the DOJ file charges for the PPP loan fraud? When do they file charges? Okay, the law around PPP loan fraud is still developing, because this was just a new program during the COVID time, so they are still developing the law, but they are using those other pecs. Okay, so there are various acts and practices that have been identified as constituting fraud under PPP. Okay, this includes acts and practices related to PPP loan application. If you fraudulently apply for this thing, for the okay, secondly, the use of the PPP loan funds, how you use the money, okay, you can be charged for it. Okay, then also the certification for PPP loan forgiveness, what kind of supporting documents that you give to the government, okay, for them to wire you the money. Okay, so the first one, we talk about the PPP loan application fraud. Okay, this money is meant for small businesses. Okay, small business owners. So although the millions of these small businesses were eligible for the PPP loan, not all businesses have the ability to obtain these federal funds under the program. Not all the companies. I have a company, okay, but I did not apply. If I wanted to apply using my company, I would have still applied. They would have given me the money. But later they'll come and check. Oh, you did apply for this thing, okay? How can you show proof of this? Show proof of this. So there are many ways that people are being trapped now, because if you have a company, it doesn't mean that your company qualifies for the loan. No. Okay. But they were looking at those aspects that can qualify the companies. Okay. What qualified these businesses? The small business concerns under the Small Business Act. Okay. Those concerns and those applications must be based on the need for funding due to the uncertainty of certain economic condition. Okay, so if you file for this loan, you have to show proof that your company has stopped functioning, okay, and your workers are suffering now under certain condition because your business is closed. That is what they expect. That's the number one reason why they can start. If you don't fulfill this, they can start following up. Okay, because you must show that your business is under this, they say, uncertainty of current economic condition, making necessary the loan request to support the ongoing operation of the eligible recipient. It means that all your workers must stop working. The company should stop operating. Then that money will use now to pay these workers. You see the thing that they wanted during that period, right? So that money they give you was for about 6 months' salary, or almost a year's salary that they give to some companies like that. Okay, that money now was to be paying your workers every month. Okay, so what most people did was that they went and fraud workers, and they say, "Oh, these people are their workers," right? That is one of the accusations that they are putting on our brother Eric Tataw. He went and created ghost workers and filed this to the, okay. So those are the people that went to court and act like witnesses, okay. Because when the FBI is doing their investigation, they'll invite these people. Wait, are you working in this man's company? No. How do your name appear as one of their workers? You have to answer that kind of question, okay? So, the second part, why the FBI is investigating you, or why they can investigate you, okay? The first one is about that fraudulent application. Then the second one now is is the use of the PPP loan. How you use the money. That is the second reason why they can investigate you. Okay, so the funds you gain under the PPP may only be used for the purpose authorized under the CARES Act. The purpose, okay, what is the purpose? That uncertainty of the current economic condition, okay, that requires that you use that money to support your company, to help your workers, okay, who are eligible. Okay, so that is another reason why they will investigate your company. If the money they gave you, they did not see you pay your workers with, you instead use that money to do something else. This is somebody's private life. You don't want to go into somebody's private life. If Eric Tataw did not use the money that they gave him for the purpose, that's the work of the FBI. That's not our job. Okay, they did their own investigation. They have come out that he did not use the money in that manner. So the case on the 8th, okay, the federal, because it's Eric Tataw versus the American federal government. It has nothing to do with Ambazonia or what people are saying all over the place. Okay. Then the third part, the PPP loan forgiveness certification fraud. Okay. Remember, to obtain forgiveness of this obligation to repay their PPP loan, companies must certify that they have complied with all the requirements of the program. Okay, so you have one, submitting a false certification can cause you to have incomplete documentation. Okay, so this is another reason why the FBI can investigate your company. Okay, remember the PPP loan can be forgiven. Some companies might not pay back the money, but some companies might be paying back little by little. Okay, but if you really show that your company qualifies or satisfies all the needs that warrants the American government to forgive this loan, they will forgive you. It means that you are not going to pay back the loan. Okay, that's what they are saying here. So this fraud is one of the fraud that makes FBI start investigating your company. If your company did not qualify for this forgiveness, okay, those are okay. But what are the possible charges for this PPP fraud? Okay, the PPP fraud. So there are many different types of fraud listed that can cause your company to be investigated or you to go to jail. Okay, remember they talk of false claim. Okay, false claim, anything that you falsify can make you to go to jail. Okay, that is one of those violations. Okay, so False Claim Act prohibit the submission of any false or fraudulent claim for payment under federal benefit program. Submitting false information in a PPP loan application and submitting a fraudulent PPP loan forgiveness certification both have the potential to lead to charges under the False Claim Act. So these charges can lead from 1 to 20 years imprisonment. Okay. Another charge that is possible is making false statement to the Small Business Administration. Okay, this administration is in charge of all small businesses. So any document you send to them is considered as legit. But if they discover that these documents are false, that is another charge. That is why they say you have like 10 counts of fraud, because each thing that you do or any document you put forward is under certain law. Okay, so making false statement to Small Business Administration is one of them. Okay, now what they talk is that it is a federal offense to knowingly, no, not that word, knowingly make any false statement or report for the purpose of influencing in any way the action of the Small Business Administration. So the Small Business Administration is the agency responsible for all the PPP loan. Okay, so violation of this section carries a potential of up to 1 million fine and 30 years of federal imprisonment. So this particular one alone can carry you to 30 years imprisonment in federal court, in federal prison. Okay. Another one is making false statement to the FDIC, insured bank. The bank that forwarded money to these companies is the FDIC, insured bank. Okay, so this one now this section tells you that it imposes the same penalties for making false statement, because whether is which department that you make false statement is considered separate. Okay, and subsequently individuals and companies that submitted false information in their PPP loan application have the potential to face charges regardless of whether or not they are accused of submitting false information directly to the SBA. Okay, so this is another charge that can go. Okay, another charge that Eric Tataw might face is bank fraud. Bank fraud. Okay, this has its own section because this one is the 18 USC section 1344. This is separate from the other one. Okay, so this one they say along with the other ones, individuals and companies that submitted fraudulent PPP loan can also face charges for bank fraud. Okay, this federal statute imposes penalty up to 1 million fine and 30 years of federal imprisonment. Okay, for knowingly executing or attempting to execute a scheme to fraud or to defraud a financial institution or to obtain any of the monies under the custody or control of financial institution by means of false or fraudulent pretenses or representations or premises. So this one is about bank fraud. Okay, so you see each of them has their own level of, okay, bank fraud is different from the other one. Then this other one now is 1343, section 1343, which is called wire fraud. Wire fraud now comes in where any fraudulent activity that involves internet communication or that is conducted in whole or in part over the internet can lead to wire fraud charges. Okay, under this one. Okay, so using the internet to execute any scheme or artifice to defraud all these yahoo boys. In America, these are their charges that they'll carry. So it carries a fine of $500,000 fine up to, then it still carries a 20-year federal imprisonment under this section. So that's why it's a federal. It's about you and the government, you and the American government. It has nothing to do with any Amazonian, anybody in particular. No, it's you and the American government. That's why it's a federal crime. Okay, and you go to federal prison. You don't go to regular prison. No. Okay, you go and meet all the politicians, the mayors, the governors that have been jailed. You go and meet them in federal prison. Okay. Now, another one is aggravated identity theft. This one comes in very, very handy because all those individuals that Eric Tataw used their document I'm just saying, if you use somebody's document to say they are your employees, and the FBI come and discover that these people don't even work for you, that is where the identity theft start coming in. Okay, and this one goes now to anybody using another company's or individual's information, in order to fraudulently get this loan. Okay, you can be prosecuted as aggravated identity theft under this section. Okay, and in addition to the penalties for the underlying offenses, that is bank fraud and all this. So you can be prosecuted for this one because it's aggravated theft. Okay, it's bank when you use somebody's identity to steal money. Okay, so this one can take you to 2 more years of federal prison time. Okay, they say which must be served. Okay, this one is 2 years for identity theft. It means that if you take somebody's identity to go and collect his money, okay, it goes under identity theft. And they say it's an individual charged with aggravated identity theft can face two more years of federal prison time, which must be served consecutively. It means this one they don't even have you bail. You must serve that 2 years in addition to the other years that you have. Now another one, they say tax evasion. This one is in America, they don't play with this one. Yes, this one, a lot of companies and individuals that fraudulently obtain the PPP loan will face charges of federal tax evasion as a result of their unlawful use of PPP loan. Because when you collect that money and you don't use it for that purpose, that is what they call unlawful use of the PPP loan funds. Okay, claiming deduction for expenses paid with PPP loan funds can lead to federal tax evasion charges. Okay, as well, because if they give you, like for example, for the case of Eric Tataw, we hear that he was given about 160,000, right? That money, you know what they do? If you say you are evading taxes, is that you don't declare that money. You instead say you lose money because you don't want to show the FBI that money you are using it for something else. That's tax evasion, okay? Because that money was supposed to be used to pay the workers, okay? Then those workers now are gonna use that money. Then they're gonna declare their taxes now, okay? So it causes a lot of tax evasion, where the federal evasion carries fines of up to 100,000. Okay, for a company, it carries a fine of up to 500,000 for if it's a company, because it's and you can spend up to 5 year imprisonment. So you see, each of them carries their own separate penalty and fines and years imprisonment. So that's why each of them that you are guilty of, they add up. So if, like for the first, like the first one that we talk about, bank fraud, they say you can spend uh 30 years imprisonment for bank fraud, okay, with 1 million fine. Imagine. So how do you get all these monies? Look at 30 years for making false statement. All these are charges. So anyone that you are guilty of, they add it to your years of that you're gonna be in jail. So if our brother is guilty on the 8th, my brother, that man go stay for day. Massa. We just hope say all this one day, so it make it defend itself. Make a talk for pigeon. Make we hear now. Only we will hear the one. I just pray say make our brother know for all these things, and because Another one with, they talk of making false statement to federal agents. This is another crime. They say it has a penalty of 250. For the company, it has a fine of 500,000. Imagine false statement to federal agents. Okay, that is it. So when facing an SBA audit, SBA audit is the agency in charge of the loan. Okay, the OIG, the DOG, or the FBI investigation targeting allegations of ABL fraud. Individual must be extremely careful not to make false statement. So when you remember when they invaded Eric Tataw's house, people were saying, "Oh, no, the FBI is doing their investigation. It has nothing to do with the Amazonian struggle." I saw in that document this guy, Salai, when I wrote his name there, it has nothing to do with. He doesn't know that he might be charged for doing that. He went and put his stamp there, that something that is concerning the PPP loan. This Salai guy, when I wrote his name there, it has nothing to do with him. He is not the one that's filed charges against Eric Tataw. This American government filing charges against Eric Tataw, okay, for fraudulent PPP loan. That's all. It has nothing to do with Amazonian struggle. So these people are just taking advantage. Now they go and write. I saw some newspapers saying that Eric Tataw arrested. Eric Tataw. Massa. People have their privacies. Okay, we respect individuals' privacies. Okay, we are talking now because we have a document coming from the court. Okay, but who cared how many times he went to the court for this case? This case has been ongoing in the court. Nobody cares. It's about Eric Tataw's private life. Everybody have their private life, all right? We have to respect individuals' rights, individuals' privacy. Okay. So that's why we are saying that anything that's happened to Eric Tataw, he knows what happened to him. He was the one doing his businesses with National Telegraph. He had another company that he created called Dimples. That's his private life. That these things has nothing to do with anybody, okay? So in America, when you want to do these businesses, please avoid all these things that you are seeing here like this. I have a company, but I will never file false documents for my company because I know FBI is there to investigate people. IRS is there to investigate people. The DOJ, Department of Justice, is there investigating people. Okay, this the Small Business Bureau, small business is also doing their own investigation. So you find yourself in a bubble. So many agencies try to investigate you just because they see something fraudulent. One thing they see like that, that's how it happens. And that's how they press charges now. Okay? That is a problem. So please avoid being investigated. Okay? This thing that they do this flag, okay? Most people have their financial record, and you make your digital copies, you keep your copies. If you file taxes today, keep it, because when they come to investigate you, they say, oh, you file wrong taxes, or you did not pay taxes this year. You just go and bring your tax document and show this is the tax you pay for your company. Okay? Because when you do taxes for your company, you do joint taxes. You yourself and the company, because you are one of the managers of the company. But you have to prove if the FBI come for investigation. Okay? If you don't have any proof of what activity you did last year or this year, they will hold you for fraud. Okay, so any record, okay, business and personal financial record that you have, you will need all these documents to prove that that you use that money judiciously and you file your taxes at the end of the year. Okay? Do not throw these documents away. Do not shred your documents. Do not destroy any document related to your business expenses, because these documents are the ones that the FBI will come and check. You say you buy a car, right? You buy a car for your business. Let's see the document for the car. You don't have. You said you bought TV for the business. Let's see the document and let's see the TV. That's why when FBI rates your house or your business, they want to see all those things that you claim in your business files and record. Okay, so destroying any vital document, okay, to avoid this PPP loan fraud investigation will just lead you to a separate criminal charge, because once they come, they want to see all these documents. Okay, so don't be a victim. Okay, don't be a victim of this fraud and all these things, please. Okay, Eric Tataw case is just one of the millions. So he has, this is not about Eric Tataw. This is about millions of other Americans who own a business, small business, and they took money. Okay, I told you that myself. I have a business. I have a company, a small company. Okay, but I never took that loan. Yes, the loan, depending on how many employees you have. If you say you have 20 employees, they'll give you money for 20 employees. If you say you have 50 employees, they'll give you money for 50 employees to pay them during the COVID time. Okay, it was about 6 months' salary. You have to pay them, but you have to show proof of all these employees that they exist, that they are not ghost employees. Okay, you must have that documents to prove. Okay, I see people writing nonsense online. Oh, Eric Tataw, you know, is then there's another one. Somebody wrote that it's Eric Tataw that wrote it. That he say, oh, it's Amazonian struggle that put him in this struggle, in this trouble that he. People just put lies upon lies on the internet. How is Eric Tataw's business and private business and his the FBI investigating him for the fraud has to do with the Amazonian struggle? He has nothing. When you are charged with these crimes, you have to defend yourself in court. So let's give Eric Tataw the chance to go to court on the 8th and defend himself. Okay? Those two charges, those one they call another one that we did not mention is witness tampering. Witness tampering is when you they call it in another term, they call it that you went and trying to disturb the justice. Okay, you went and paid money to the witness to bear false witness against the government, which is witness tampering. That's another one. So this is what is going on, and I think we're gonna be waiting to hear about the case, because now he's now in federal prison. We just hope that they not will give you plenty this thing them myself, because with the job press make, may not give plenty charges, because the charges where with the CM, that man will spend plenty years. So I'm telling you, that man will spend plenty years for prison where it go bad. Okay, because for federal prison, they need even move 1 year for federal prison. If you spend all, I'm telling you, because if you look at the the various charges we would look forward to. The plenty, okay. That one, number one, we will be talking another PPP loan application fraud. Now, one that number two, we talk about the PPP use of the loan, how you use the funds. Eh? Number three, we talk about forgiveness of the loan. How they go forgive some company their money. The company they don't pay back the money. Some company they will pay back by very low interest rate where they will pay back the money. Okay. Then we talk about that. Other one will talk about false claim. Okay. The false claim, okay, false or fraudulent claim of payment under federal benefit. How you put false application, submit false application. Another one where they say making false statement to the Small Business Administration too. So this thing they plenty way with the look. If all this thing they put them, that judge they go put them one by one, then you go here say what do they call and I say this man has been sentenced to 30 to life. Or someone if the one just make a joke to say you are sentenced to the so they put now just the 99 years, or they just talk say this one 40 to life. So you must spend that 40 first before now they think of if they feel leave you. You see, so it's really crazy. Then another one they call bank fraud. Bank fraud alone, it carries a penalty of 1 million fine. Only bank fraud though. And 30 years of federal imprisonment. Bank fraud. The other one we carry another one. I didn't want to say wire fraud. That is this Yahoo online thing them. It carry on to for day. 20 years. So if you do the Yahoo thing for America, online fraud, now in that so fine 500,000 for the fine. 20 years imprisonment in federal prison. Yes. Okay. Then this other one where they carry 2 years. Now the one they say aggravated identity theft. Now another one that will carry 2 years. So if you add them 20, 30, 22, then tax evasion are 5 years. So these all the things so they know they together. Tax evasion are 5 years, then they give you 500,000 fine. It means you go pay that money before you come over that place. Another one they say, which again, making false statement to federal agents. It means if you lie to the judge, you lie to DOJ, you lie to the FBI, you lie to all these people, you lie to the OIG, okay? That is what they call federal agents. Now when they toss it, they will give you 500,000 if but for the company as a whole, the penalty is 500,000. Only for big false statement, 500,000. Then imagine then 5 years in federal prison. So how many that? So if you calculate the years, you see how they add up now. So if you be guilty of any of these things, all of them, it's very difficult for you to avoid them. Say because they almost want be together, but be together. They may punish you. No, they not sorry. You say okay. You no. If they don't charge you for tax evasion, you feel likely be found for bank fraud. You feel likely be for making false statement. Okay, that is how it is. So they're almost tied together. Okay, false claim. Okay, this one is another thing. So if you evade tax, you definitely don't do false claim. Okay, if you make false statement to small business administration, you definitely don't do some bank fraud. Okay, if you don't do some this thing, you definitely don't do aggravated identity theft. So that's how. Another one is conspiracy. Okay, conspiracy. Conspiracy carries some charges too. Okay, where you say uh, where multiple individuals or companies or financial institutions can face charges for conspiracy investigations. Okay, these are the ones that can carry their own. Okay, when you do this, you fall under that same making false statement, which carry 5 years imprisonment too. So these are literally 2 years. You see, if you add up these years, man, it's just good to avoid all this thing, please. Okay. So thank you for watching. We're gonna end here. I just wanted us to understand the law and everything, because people don't understand. This is American law, okay? And if you break the law, you go to jail. That's it. There's nothing, if you broke the law, you go to jail. The American law has no pity for anybody. Or sorry hat. They didn't give sorry hat, I don't work for law enforcement, so at the tail and at the way we don't do arrests, we don't do investigations, we don't do all that in them. So when you are investigated, know that you have done something. American policeman no go come for your house, can knock your doorway, get probable cause of something. Okay. Either they don't get warrant of arrest, or they get something, okay, or they get something where they can look for. So please, let's avoid falling into this. And God bless everybody and stay blessed. Thank you for watching. Please share. Okay. God bless you, and let's pray for our brother not to be convicted for all this crime, because it's so many years. Let's pray for him. Let him go through all this. People fall. Temptation comes. Many things come. People fall into these things. You never know. That's life. Okay, but let's not pray bad for somebody who is in trouble, because we don't know tomorrow. Don't pray bad for somebody who is in trouble. You don't know your own 10. Any man get your own 10. So please, let's pray for our brother Eric Tataw, that the American court can, sometimes you don't know, he can be free. Okay, so you are only found guilty until you are being judged. We cannot judge somebody who has not been charged yet. He's now awaiting trial. That's what we call it. Okay, so let's hope for the best for him, and we pray God to protect any of our children, our Amazonian brothers at home and abroad. Okay, let's pray for everybody. Okay, thank you for watching, and please stay put for the next episode. God bless you all.